I'm not really for sure how to introduce Eugene and his group from Grace Mission. All I know is that this is the same group that Zach and Elijah and Chris and them went down to Mexico with. So I'm just going to have Eugene come forward, and then he can explain what they do and explain his guest.
Thank you, Steve.
You bet. Thank you.
You go ahead. There's one wrong move on this stage, and you could be in trouble, it looks like to me. It's good to be here with you folks this morning, and we're excited to do a presentation of our work in Mexico with you, with some folks who are working down there and going down there. But let me introduce Grace Mission just slightly to you, because it's been a while since we've been here. Actually, the first time I was here was in 2001, right after 9/11. We were here the Sunday after 9/11, and I still remember that Sunday because it was quite a you know how that went, so it was quite a mood. But that was my first introduction. I think we've been here two other times. I don't know, one other time, and this is our third time, so we're excited to be back here with you. Grace Mission works in Haiti and Mexico, and maybe you're more familiar with our Haitian ministry because you've supported Paul and Belle Romeus, I think, over some time, and some of you, I know Ruby Meister has been a friend of the mission for many years, and I quick asked her, how did Grace Mission get started over here? She said J.R. Barkman started coming here or introduced Grace Mission to this church years ago. Now that's a long time ago. Mr. Barkman died in 2001 at age 102. But that don't mean he started here when he was 30. I don't know when it was. But anyway, but we're thankful for what you've done and a little bit of what you know, and we're here to explain a little bit more. I left a newsletter with some of you. Our work in Haiti has got some exciting new things that we're doing. How would you like to see Haiti be able to take care of itself? How many would like to see that happen? Wouldn't that be great? Well, that's what we're working on. Why do we think that we need to just keep putting, you know, you guys are farmers. I was a farmer. I grew up on the farm. When the tractor's stuck in the mud, you do something different. You know, you got to figure out how to get out of the mud puddle. You don't just sit there and, oh, this is fun. I love being stuck in the mud. No. You figure out, you got to unhitch the disc. Get out of the mud, put a chain on it, pull it through the mud or something, you know. My dad was stuck one time so bad he had the tractor buried, he had to get boards and jack the thing up. I saw a YouTube video where they took and chained an actual log onto the side of the tires on the back of this tractor and then just boing, bumped it right out of the mud. Well, that's what we're trying to do in Haiti, is get it out of the mud. And so we appreciate your prayers, and there's some great stuff in there, and next month's newsletter is going to be exciting. Kind of putting a bug in your ear. You need to look at it. See if you can get a copy. It's good to have some friends here today that we know from years ago. Loretta's here. Thank you, Loretta. We knew you were here. I mean, we're here, but I know. Anyway, hi. And your husband. I haven't met you. Maybe I've met you, but I'm going to meet you. Good to see you. And then Glenn Goody's right up here in front. He's one of our friends from Auburn. We've known him for many years. Glad you came, Glenn. Thank you very much. All right, well, I want to introduce our friends from Mexico. First of all, just trying to get the whole family to just say hello, and then we're going to ask them some questions. We're going to look at some pictures as they talk. I'll ask the questions. We have an interpreter today, and we had our par excellence interpreter, Jonathan Lopez, who lives in Omaha, who couldn't make it today. He had to work. So we have got a great interpreter, and I want you to encourage him when I introduce you to him, because he's a young man, and this is probably his first time to interpret. So we're going to cheer him on. And by the way, Zach and Elijah, I'm getting to meet you yet there, Elijah. But thanks for going down to Mexico. And Azael tells me y'all did a great job up there. And your last name is Lode, L-O-D-E? Lade, L-A-D, that's it, E. And I introduced your father as Lade, his first name, Stephen. This is Stephen Lade. Talk about confusion. All right, so let's get started. Are we on here? Yes, sir. Good. Yeah, we'll stay down here. It's so small up there, I think. I just want to introduce the whole crew to you first because they're all important. Family is important, isn't it? And so we'll start on the end. And this is Azael Lopez, and his wife's name is Millie. She couldn't come today. She was kind of sick yesterday and just couldn't get away this morning. But we're glad that Azael and Millie came. They've worked with the mission now for 30-some years and have been a very faithful couple for the work of the Lord. They plant churches in the villages, and Azael's actually been a school teacher for 40 years, right? Yeah. 40 years, just retired recently, got his 40-year pin, and Millie worked as a secretary in the same school system. So let's give Azael a hand, a round of applause. And I should say Oaxaca City, Mexico is where they live. This is south of Mexico City, and it's a good distance down the way. All right, next we have the family of Carlos and Sarah, Carlos Vasquez and Sarah. And Sarah is Azael and Millie's daughter. And so they have 4 children, and we're excited to have them. And they have 3 little boys. Sorry. Oh, that was a surprise, wasn't it, Sarah? I'm used to, we've been meeting, everybody's got 4 kids all of a sudden, and boys especially. Anyway, Sebastian here is the oldest, and then Carlos, they call him Carlos Jr., and then little Danny's in the nursery. Let's give them a hand. All right, so you guys, you want to sit down with the little one? Okay, so we're going to have Sebastian's going to be our interpreter. So let's give him a cheering round of applause to encourage him today, okay? So I'm going to turn the microphone over to him, and I'll try to talk loud enough with the questions. And then it's going to be, this is going to be, we're bridging the language barrier. And so we're going to take a big jump over the language barrier. Just a quick joke for you. There was a guy down in Mexico somewhere, and he was having this interpretation done. And so he said something that didn't make any sense in the Spanish language, and he says, "Oh, that was an American idiom." And the interpreter heard that, and he mistranslated, and he said, "He says he's an American idiot." So this happens sometimes, and often I go down there, and I am the American idiot. So I try to avoid that if I can. Okay, Sebastian, you're on, brother. Good. And on? Testing. Ooh, yeah. Thank you. Okay. All right. I've already kind of introduced Azael. Let's ask him a couple of other quick questions. Azael, besides being in the ministry of church planting, what other ministries have you been involved in over the years?
Good morning. He estado trabajando también en el evangelismo de los niños por 15 años antes de trabajar con Grace Mission.
I've been working 15 years with the evangelism, kids evangelism.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Child evangelism. He had a lot of experience there. Right now he's working up in the mountains around the area. We're going to start in San Pedro, and this should work. Let's see. Moving. What happened? There we go. Okay. The mountains of San Pedro are just a beautiful area up there. How long does it take to drive up to San Pedro by truck?
Para manejar a las montañas